for trucking along and coloring. So we're going to go with our Stampin' Momento Black, and my husband has driven a red truck forever, so we're going to do our little truck red. And we're keeping this pretty simple. If you saw the card I posted earlier, I used this truck on a card, and I'll show you how to put that together in another video. But for right now, I wanted to show you how we're going to color this truck. So I picked the one with all the detail because I want to color it in. This one you would stamp with a color and you wouldn't need to. But I'm all about coloring right now. So we're going to stamp our truck with our memento. Make sure our ink covers everything. Same as always, we've got our scrap paper down and we've got the piece that we're going to stamp on, our basic white. We're going to stamp our truck. That looks cool. And now we're going to color it in. Just like always, I'm going to go light to dark. Bert's truck is not really light sweet sorbet. It's more cherry cobbler, but this is a color that I have, so it's the color we're going to use. And you're literally going to start with your truck. And this is a smaller, more detailed space that we're filling. It's not quite as big as like the bear that we did yesterday. So we're just going to color it in. I'm using light first, and I'm going to come back with a dark and add the accents that the stamp artist gave me. So we're just going to go right along. Remember, if you get too close to the edge and have a heavy hand, your ink will bleed outside your stamp, and that's not really what we want. So kind of a light hand on the edge. Not a lot of pressure, just a light little dabble do ya. I could have used the other brush, the brush end of the marker. I feel like I have more control, especially in these tiny spaces, with the bullet end. This more pointy, smaller end. So I'm going to stop right here and go back and get some dark, because it's good to do. You want to make sure that your color hasn't dried completely so they'll blend better. Okay, and I'm going to bring in the dark. Again, I'm going to use the fine point, and I'm going to let the stamp artist kind of tell me where to add the darkness. Right? You just want to bring a little bit of dimension to your truck. And then you come back with the light and you kind of flick the colors together. Kind of blend them on in. You don't have to scrub it all. And as you can see, this truck doesn't have a whole lot of variety in its color. But we're all good. I'm not really talking, I'm just coloring. The memento works great. It doesn't really run when you paint it. And now I'm going to come in with some dark. Again, not a heavy hand. Just adding a little bit of dimension to my truck. And come back in. Now if you're looking at it thinking, I don't know, it looks a little runny. Looks like it's bleeding out a little bit. No worries, it's going to dry perfectly. Put your caps back on so your pens don't dry out, your blends. And then I'm using dark gray granite to give me my tires. And I'm not really going to shade this because it's just going to be that tire. If I had black, I could use it. I don't. So don't let the limiting of what you have for the current, what blends you have in your little collection, just go with it. It'll be okay. And then put it on your list for, ooh, I wish I had black. What I discovered when I went to do this is, I wish I had cherry cobbler. And I don't. So that'll be on my list for future. The other thing I discovered that I don't have any browns. When I went to do Mr. Bear earlier, I didn't have any brown. This is part of the trucking along bundle, and I have the punch. So I'm going to punch now my fancy colored in truck with my blends. And you just line this up with your punch. Give it a punch. And there is my truck. Now I'm going to add this to my card, and I'll show you a sneak peek of the card. We're going to work on this one tomorrow, but this is the card that I used the truck on. This sweet little fancy fold, fancier than my usual simple layered card. We are going fancy folds now. In addition, we'll do some simples, but we're also going to do some of those. They're really not hard, but it looks like you were like very clever. Have a great day. Bye.